Hi, welcome to creating candidate-facing job submission statuses. Let's get started. So providing your candidates the ability to see where they are in the recruiting process is fairly easy to kind of do. You just have to kind of update job submission statuses. So let's review how that's done. So the first thing that you want to do is you're going to go to configuration and you're going to go to career section administration. And then you're going to do career section settings, and you're going to do a an update of a setting. So you can do a keyword search, and you can use customization, refresh. And this is where you would want to make sure that your value is yes. So it is enable customization of job submission statuses. And it allows you, the administrator, to configure messages to candidates from my job page of the career sections. So now we are going to go back on our breadcrumb, go back to career section administration, and we are going to go under general configuration, and you see that you have a job submission statuses. So when you get into the job submission statuses configuration, the order is basically by steps. So you want to kind of go through, keep in mind we are in a demo zone, so I have lots of steps, but you want to kind of go through and find your step name, and then you will see your statuses. So we will do one of these steps just to kind of show you. So rejected kind of has a negative connotation, so I am going to create a candidate facing one. From a coding perspective, I can put, it's not going to be viewed by the candidate, so I can put what I want to, but the name is going to be displayed. That's what you're going to see. So I'm going to say not selected for position. So I'm going to save. And then the next part, I have the usage. So if you have different requisition types, you can do it for, you can have different ones for various types. I'm going to use professional. And you can see under user types, you have the ability to do those candidate job submission statuses that are different between these users. So I'm going to say I want it to be external, and I also want to use the same one for my internals. If I wanted to do a different candidate-facing status for my internal, then I would just go back to my job submission statuses, find my reject. So in the breadcrumb, I would be able to create another one just for that internal. So I'm going to activate this one. I'm going to use my breadcrumb and go back. And I'm going to choose not. If it's a has declined, this is really coming from a candidate's perspective, so I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go to under consideration, and I can use the same messaging for some of my statuses. So I can just say, oops, that's my code. And I'm going to say being reviewed. So I'm going to copy this, save it, and again, I am going to select my requisition type. And I'm going to do it again for my internals. Activate. Go back. And I am going to create the same. So I copied, so I'm just going to paste my information here. create my usage, so professional requisition type. And internal, and activate. So if you have statuses between your steps, or and they're multiple, but they kind of mean the same thing from a candidate facing perspective, then you can use the same thing. I had already created one from a new, so ready to be reviewed by recruiting. And if I go in, I've done it for both internal and external, so consistent with the rest of what I've done. And I think I just have the one more. And I'm going to say, so moving forward, and I'm going to create one more. So now I have one step. So I am going to activate, and I'm going to go back and just kind of make sure that I have those activated. They're active. They're active. So now I've got one step done. So once you've completed, it will take some time if you have lots of statuses within your steps. But the great thing is that it kind of alleviates some of the questions from a candidate's perspective. So once we're done that, we need to go to the career section. So you are able to have the job submission facing status by career site. So I choose which one is active to be able to be seen. So I go to my career site, and I go to my properties here, and you will see a section that says display user-defined job submission statuses in my submission or my referral page is on to yes. So from a perspective of how it looks for candidates, let's review that. So I'm already in my career section, and I am going to go to my job page. And you can see here, when I look at my completed submissions, I have ready to be reviewed by recruiting. So this is a way of, this is where it's displayed for candidates in terms of that candidate facing. So it takes away some of the needs of the wondering or the phone calls that are going to be done to your recruiting team, because you can kind of create a message that's facing that would provide them a little bit of information. And if I click on it, there is the ability to put a little bit more messaging there. So that's another way of being able to kind of stay in touch and give your candidates exactly, the information that they need in the moment. So this is created by them. They can kind of log in at every time and see what the status. I hope that helps, and that is the end of this session. Thank you.